Hi, yeah, more Amstrad Action. Trying to finish off this issue this week. And we're going to do Total Eclipse 2 again, because I forgot to switch scenes while playing it last time, so we don't do it again. Anyway, so let's get it over with. It's Total Eclipse 2, Sphinx Jinx. Incentive, £11.20. Disc. Joystick keys. Although a subtler Sphinx renew, riddles of death, theories never knew, P.B. Shelley. Well, theories may not have solved the riddles of death, but you'll have to if you want to survive the Sphinx Jinx. Just when you thought it was safe to get back out of the water and venture once more into the desert, a new task has been set. Having saved the world from calamity and total eclipse, you are now presented with news that the 12 parts of the dog's body, lion actually, Ed, the ancient Sphinx, are to magically disappear for eternity if the statue is not reassembled within 1 hour. You know what this means? It's Sandy Boots time again. So dust off that hat, all your bullwhip, and go pyramid. It's very much as you were on the incentive ranch, and the game begins with you wandering aimlessly around outside 3 pyramids. Immediately, Eclipse flashbacks occur, and remembering the back door, you may decide a good recce is in order. Again, although those fiendish Egyptians are one step ahead, because as one of the buildings is rounded, you see something shimmering in the sand. Overcharged, deliriously happy, having finally gotten to know how the Freescape mind works. And before your very eyes, the apparent pile of gold bars disappears as you are told, "Mirage!" As you try to get your ego back in working order, it's time to go into the pyramid and find some real gold. The gameplay is identical to Eclipse, but the theme is somewhat different. Instead of finding one route to a specific point, you now have to discover the whereabouts of the 12 statue fragments. To achieve success, you now have to learn a route that allows you to pick up each piece within 5 minutes, which doesn't allow much room for error. This has to be done as well as collecting ankhs, gold, and water. The traps and tricks too are subtly different. This time they're more obvious in guise, but more devious in solution. Invisible walls block your path. Walkways are obstructed by hovering blocks, and half walls trip you, spilling life-saving water. More fiendish pitfalls await you, though, as you venture further into the perilous pyramid. Hovering floors appear and disappear, and must be negotiated a block at a time. This is not as simple as it sounds, because they vanish in a pre-arranged order, which must be figured out, as well as the minor problem of walking on the blocks themselves. Other areas have portals which whisk you to different rooms and mouths that have to be climbed through whilst open. He who hesitates is not only lost, but munched. Like Eclipse, with its illusion sector, there is a Jinx zone which costs you an arc to get into and tears of frustration to leave. Sphinx Jinx is set in a slightly smaller tomb than Eclipse, but there are more intensive trap sessions along the way. Mapping is made simpler because of the lesser number of levels, but progress is hindered by tougher rooms. Freescape may not be as revolutionary as it was back in the days of Driller, but now it's more complex than ever before. If you've not got an Eclipse and are already a member of the Home Computer Club, this game is one of the greatest bargains going. Incentive enough! Total Eclipse 2 Sphinx Jinx is only currently available through the Home Computer Club in a special bargain pack with Total Eclipse. Is this good news or bad? For members of the ACC who want to try their hand at Freescape, it's an opportunity not to be missed. But for everyone else, it may not be such great value. If you already own Eclipse, is it worth buying the same game again? Well, if you enjoyed and eventually sold Part 1, then the answer is probably yes. But only for total Freescape fanatics. If you have Eclipse and are not a member of the ACC, then this is probably not the greatest ever deal. As a recruiting drive, the ACC could not have chosen a better game. For the incentive boys, who always managed to turn out highly interesting and massively popular products. Let's hope that in the months to come, Sphinx Jinx will be available generally as an individual game, so once again we can all go adventuring in the desert once more. Eagle eyes spot a hidden door. Never ever trust a door guarded by rabbits. Second opinion, Freescape games are definitely a hit with me. Okay, so it looks very similar to Total Eclipse, but Sphinx Jinx's puzzles are even better. Green screen, fine if you can stand green sand. You want me to crawl through where? The verdict, graphics 89%. Freescape strikes again. Smoothest escape game yet. Sonic's 43%. Serviceable sound effects. Grab factor 78%. The first pieces are very conspicuous. Staying power 83%. Massive mausoleum maze. Enough enigmas and death traps to keep you engrossed for weeks. AA rating 81%. Classic Freescape conundrums. Shapers not available in the shops. Alright. Let's get started. Alright. Yeah, here we go. Hit the transition button. Remember to do it this time. Total Eclipse 2, the Sphinx Jinx. That's the Sphinx. Honest. Huh? Press the key. Rebuild Sphinx. Huh? Out we go. Well, these are pyramids. Off we go. He's got to find the entrance first. That's all we got to do. Look at that cactus. That's what a cactus looks like. Ooh, look, gold bar, get gold bar. It's the Mirage. Well, here's our entrance at least anyway. Down. Look down. Ooh. Now there's a gold bar. Now I gotta remember which room to go in first. Remember, parts is 0. This is a Sphinx room. You collect all the parts. Could we go into this room first? Or not? Can't shoot. Yeah, there's nothing. Are there steps here? No. Okay. Okay, maybe let's have this way then we go. There's steps here, right? Just gotta make sure you step down them. You don't want to fall or anything. Some water. Get the water. Right, shoot gold. Can you shoot gold bars? Whatever. Touch to collect. Well, that's the first part. Look, there's a door behind here. I wonder what's in here. Ooh. Gold. Gold, gold, gold. Got steps here. Oh, he's got a barrier. Can I not get down here? That's another part, I guess. So I've got to find a way down there. Well, that's kind of pointless then. I'm sure that did something. I don't know what, but it did something. More gold. There's no... I'm gonna have a look around this area and see if shooting that bird did anything. Does not appear to have. No doors opened up or anything. No. Okay. Nothing happened here. Get past. Should we fill our water while we're here? Was this door here before? Okay, we're in the Sphinx room again. Oh, there's an ankh. Let's get that. Just used to open barred doors. More gold. Touch to collect. Let's go through here. Oh, these are rabbits. Shoot them. Shooting them, I think, stops them from firing. At least for a little while. So walk through here. Alright. Sit up here. Door right here. So that's this one. Is it apart? No. That is. Touch to collect. We gotta get over there somehow. Oh, it's 2 parts. 12. That's a mistake. Let's get the gold bar first before we do anything else. whole 400 points it gives you. Okay. Go past this one. Last time I remember there was... Ooh. What happened? Something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened. What's that down there? Oh, it's just gold. Oh. What is in here? Oh, this is the Jinx. Uh-oh. How do we crawl? How do we... I've forgotten how we crawl. Oh! That's U-turn. H, that's right. H for height. There we go. We did it. We touch the... Oh! Okay. Now what? Okay, now if I stand here, will it crush me if I shoot it now? No. This one gone? Yes. Oh, where'd the door go? Am I stuck? Am I stuck? I think I'm stuck. Oh! Here we go. That worked. Okay. Now what? Oh, I didn't. I got rid of it. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. can pick up and drop objects or anything. Do you see anything up here? No. Okay, I'm stuck. I have no idea what to do here. This is too big brained. Nope. Well, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. Nope. Oh, well, that's the Sphinx, Jinx. You wander around, find stuff. Well, it's been nearly half an hour already. Well, 20 minutes. So we'll move on. It's just like total Eclipse, really. Just different objective. We'll move on. Okay. Next game is Superman by Tynesoft. $9.95 cassette, $14.95 disc, joystick keys. The ultimate superhero has finally made it out of that telephone booth and onto the CPC. And now the Man of Steel is ready to settle old scores with that villain to beat all villains, Lex Luthor and his evil Lex Corp. Bedecked in red and blue, the righter of wrongs and the protector of the weak is to complete 6 dangerous tasks to save the world. Can it be done? Pull those undies on outside your trousers and go up, up and away as Superman to find out. You join the action at key points in a comic book storyline. First off, you must defeat Darkseid's Parademons, who try to intercept you on the way to Metropolis. In true Soup's fashion, can be dispatched with a blast from his heat vision or a solid punch. Even in the world of superpowers, the old adage seems to hold true. If nothing else works, thump it. The adventures continue in the same fashion, with Soups having to smash his way through a couple of asteroid showers liberally laced with kryptonite and death-dealing robots. Bre- Break into a couple of space stations, Vandal, as well as defeat the forces of LexCorp. The stages are all variations of coin-op style games, but with the man himself as the high-powered agent of destruction. Level 1 is Afterburner with a cape. 2, Blasteroids meet Space Invaders, while the games inside the satellite stations are identical to a horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up of your choice, Ed. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Only one is actually hard to tell. Superman is seen from behind, and only when he's climbing or diving is he distinguishable as his mighty self. The rest of the time, he's no more than a red or blue Kryptonian blob. In short, the graphics are passable, even if Soups never does move faster than a dud bullet, never mind a speeding one. The whole package is essentially 6 individual games bound together by a rather tenuous super story. As a compendium, it's good fun, although tape users beware, it takes forever to multi-load. With some games, the asteroid's better than others. Fortunately, there is a built-in cheat feature which allows you to skip to the game you want, rather than having to wade through parademons until you're blue in the face. An annoying factor is the overly sensitive icon control for the superpowers: flight, kicking, punching, super breath, and laser vision. Not only are they easily destroyed, e.g. one hit from a concussion cannon and it's finito, but they are also rather fiddly to manipulate in the heat of the battle. Superman had all these talents all the time, so why is his computer cousin underpowered? A great game for fans of the Man of Steel, but lacking in enough continuity and depth to satisfy other games players for long. Still, the boy's a long way from home, so we should make the ultimate illegal alien feel at home. Besides, who's capable of telling him to clear off? First day target score 7,500. Second opinion. The first Cape Crusader is here, and I must say I'm disappointed. It lacks speed and tension, and there's too much combat. Soups saves the world by using his brain and not his bicep power, but here he's little more than Krypton-powered super thug. Green screen. Tolerable. Super facts. Superman's home address is flat 3D 344 Clinton Street, Metropolis. 2. There are 7 kinds of kryptonite. 3. Krypton is approximately 1.8 trillion miles from Earth. What do you mean was? 4. Superman currently works for WGBS TV in Metropolis. 5. His niece, Kara, is Supergirl. 6. As Superman, Kal-El is 6'2". As Clark Kent is 5'11". 7. He has a super dog called Crypto. 8. Supergirl has a super horse called Comet and a super cat called Streaky. 9. Superman once had a rocket plane made out of superanium. 10. Superman's powers include the ability to change his facial appearance, speak all languages, and solve maths problems faster than a CPC. But top, Christopher Reeve, the world's latest Man of Steel, star of 4 super movies. Middle, George Reeves, no relation, star of the Kryptonians' earlier adventures on TV. And bottom, Kirk Allen, the world's first Soups, star of 2 cliffhanger serials in the late 40s. Verdict. Graphics 64%, clear but small sprites, slow movers. Sonics 51%, use your super hearing and you'll still be disappointed. Grab factor 69%, instant hit with Soups fans. I miss with everyone else. Staying power 61%, it may take mere mortals some time. A bit repetitive. A rating 63%. If not super, then at least above average, man. Ah. Okay. Okay. Would you change scenes? Yeah. Superman, the Man of Steel, the Blomberg. Okay. It's a cracked version, obviously. Superman, the Man of Steel. Titan Soft. Kinetic Designs. By Mike Talbot, Tim McCarthy, and others, apparently. Superman, defeat the parademons to clear your way to the city. Okay. Order. Afterbin is a lot more fun than this was. Oh. Oh, down. Oh, you got one. We hit something. And another. Oh. Oh, watch out for the bullet. Ow. Oh. The bullet just pops up over the side of the screen. Ow, my foot. Where? Oh, another bullet got me. Oh, down. It's right down to go down. It's not a flight simulator. Ow. Zap. Well, what's that? How do we change icons? Oh, that's right. The number buttons switch levels. That's how easy the cheat mode is to work. Well, we're under stage 2 now. I'm still not sure how we change icons. Superman, protect the shuttle. Press fire to begin. Okay, we got a shmup. Oh, firing. We apparently have auto fire on this stage. I don't know why some of these asteroids are green. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. We lost the power. How do we change? Oh. You have failed. So how do we change weapons? That's what I'd like to know. Before I start, I'm going to look up the manual. There better be good instructions somewhere. Let's see. Spanish? Why is there only Spanish instructions? Maybe it'll help. It says enter. Enter to fix stuff, I guess. I think that's what it says. Was it keypad enter? Is it that specific? I'm pretty sure. We'll soon find out, won't we? Why does he have so much inertia when he's flying? Yeah, enter does nothing. That one's stuck in. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. You failed. You have triumphed! You have triumphed! So apparently. Again, I still have no idea how to change the icons. Destroy giant computer. Press space to start. Oh, right. He does not go very far down when he crouches. Just slightly bends his knees. How are you supposed to hit this? How are you supposed to hit the damn thing? Oh, go forward. Whee. Oh. Ah. Ah. Walk, you damn you. Yeah. Oh, no, we can't. Can't just walk through it. So what do we do? We can go back. No, we can't go back. What do we do? Oh, we just do that. There we go. We can just this. Presuming this dies at some point. There we go. It took eventually. Whoosh. Where did this guy come from? You failed. Do it again, idiot. Superman does not know how to crouch very well. Stop that. Hope I don't have to restart this every single... Oh no, it's gone. Good. Keep going. No diagonal movement, huh? That's... Oh. Oh. Can't hit this? It's the wall. Oh, shit, door, okay. Off we go. Off we go again. Oh, stop that. Shoot it. I think we're in a safe spot here. Stop. Go. Oh, jeez. Down. Stop going forward, you idiot. You failed. Too much bashing your head into walls. What is this next stage like? Do we have another stage? 4? What's this it? So there's 6 stages. Mission terminated. Let's go for the first one. Fun. Alright, protect the satellite. Press fire to begin. This seems familiar. Ow. Ow. No. Okay. How do we switch icons? You have failed. Are there better instructions? There's got to be English instructions somewhere. Let's see. See if we can find better instructions. There's got to be better instructions somewhere. That's not the right game. Amazing how many games are titled Superman. Yeah, that's the one. Man of Steel. Let's see. Manual. Spanish. No, nothing in English. How does a Superman game not have English instructions? It's in German. Oh. Whatever. Give another go protecting the satellite. Ow. That didn't work well. Nope. Next stage. Let's go next stage. There's what, 6 stages, isn't there, or something? Destroy the robot defenses and gain entry to the space station by lowering the shields. This again does not seem all that different. Ow. Oh no, we lost our power. Oh. You have failed somehow. No, we just flew off. He's had enough of this. He's out of here. Enter does nothing. Enter does nothing. You've failed. Go to you die quickly here. Right, we've got one more stage to look at. Destroy giant computer. Press fire. That sounds familiar. Oh, different background though. What's that fire? It's a flying. Yeah. Yeah, this seems very familiar. It's even the same layout, just different background. You shoot your back. Oh. Damn it. Get out of the... Up. Move up, you idiot. Oh, don't bang your head on that. Yeah, this is the exact same layout as the previous, the third stage, second stage. I forget which one it was. Oh. Ow. Oh, jeez, stop that. You can't go diagonally, which is really weird. Just go, Superman, go. Dude, you failed. One will go. Ow. Ow. Move, 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 move. Ow. Oh, ooh, big dude. He's shooting back out of the screen. Ooh, dying here. You failed. Yeah, that's a game. See, do we get an ending? Failed. It fall. It falls to another superhero to save the Earth. Superman's depressed. Oh well. On to the next game. There's another half hour of nonsense. Uh, Next game is Forgotten Worlds. Capcom, $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. It's dark. You're wearing sunglasses. You have a rifle full of ammo, a jetpack full of gas, and a real bad attitude. Lock and load because it's time to rock and roll. There's only so much a man can take, even from a war god. They've made you mad, so it's clobberin' time. You're visiting your old hometown, once proud metropolis, now a smouldering ruin. There you find them, the self-same lizard warriors who trashed the place way back when. You're mean, you're lean, and they're green. You start to rumble and have to learn how to handle your jetpack, and blaster cannon maneuvers are tricky, but you get the hang of it real quick. Now an odd thing occurs when you blow them to pieces. As well as lizard meat, you see coins. If you're quick, you can dive in and catch them before they hit the ground. Earning a living as a homicidal maniac isn't easy, as every penny will be helpful later on. The more battles you get into, the more coins you find. Not only on dead opponents, but hidden away in ceilings and other nooks and crannies. The firefights continue as you scroll along, meeting an ever-increasing number of enemies. Then out of the corner of your eye, what do you see? A shop! Yep, Tesco's gets everywhere, even in the Forgotten World's war zone. Naturally curious, you pop in. On sale are all kinds of goodies to spruce up your kill ratio, extra lives, more firepower, even a newspaper giving you hints on how to top the end-of-level god. All these goodies are useful, but the most valuable by far is the info in the papers. It's recommended that each time you reach the shops on a new level, you have a read and note down the information. It sounds like a Sunday Sport exclusive, how to kill your god. But knowing whether to hit the head or the heart can save you time and lives. Each of the Forgotten Worlds is dominated by a deity of destruction. These boys are big, bad, and impressive, in an ugly sort of way. Each has a specific weakness, except for Bios, the main man on the final level, but this is hard to find and even harder to exploit. They are gods after all, and such should be given every respect, and as many bullets as you can pump with your trigger finger. Every level has its own character and special hazards, apart from being shot at. Level 1 features pods that drop from the ceiling when hit, an unavoidable occurrence for firepower freaks who've purchased 8-way cannons. Level 2, the water world, has a nice line and giant worms that hide below the surface and pounce when you're least expecting it. Luckily, they always stay in the same place, so learn where they are and when they strike. World 3 features another city, which for part of the time scrolls diagonally to keep you on your toes. Level 4 is the killer. Here, one of the more mild obstacles are snakes. Like their seafaring cousins, they burst out of the ground and spit at you. Certainly something to be avoided at all costs. The game is blessed with the essential ingredient for all classic shoot-em-ups, speed. The pace, allied with the vast firepower on offer, means things get pretty hot, even on the ice world. The sprites and backgrounds suffer slightly for this, but it's a worthy sacrifice. There are still moments of graphic glory though. Just look at the dragon that guards level 2 and you'll see. This is a full-blooded arcade conversion, and total anarchy is the result. Monsters screaming at you, guns blazing, creatures try to eat, burn, and otherwise dismember you in every conceivable way. In return, you can let rip, especially in two-player mode, with an awesome arsenal of your own. Brainpower may not be required, but with so much on-screen action, there wouldn't be time for it anyway. Keep your barrel cool, your powder dry, and don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes. If they've got eyes, that is. First day target score, 10,000 points. What's green and carries a laser gun? A lizard. Okay. Why am I wearing sunglasses at night? Who said it's nighttime anyway? Classic, shop 'em up. My, what big teeth you have, Grandma. The verdict. Graphics 83%. Great Gods of War. Small but speedy sprites. Sonic 68%. Standard shooting gallery sounds. Grab factor 79%. Easy-ish opening section. Gets well hard later on. Staying power 77%. Only 4 levels. But the bursting with nasties. A rating 80%. Great coin-op action. Alright. Let's play it. Switch the scenes. Switch the scenes. Right. There you go. The Eclipse protection system strikes again. Welcome to Forgotten Worlds from US Gold. Conversion Arc Developments. Did you find the guy? I will finish you today for sure. Press fire. Right on the game. The controls are a little weird. Fire plus left and right turns you around. If you want to move, if we're turning around, you've got to stop firing. This is undestroyable, I don't know. Oh, God damn it. I'm dying. Oh, jeez, they're coming from behind. Alright, power-ups. Got 3,400. Already have. Thank you. 20k only costs 2k though. Shoot mouth to kill. Ow. Mistake. Oh god, up. Okay, let's go through the wall, that's fine. It is the boss. It's the anus boss from the arcade version. Every hit it takes. Ow. Got it. Bonus. The paramecium is no match for us. Realm to level 2. Yeah. Shop. Thank you. City short. Oh. Can I afford this? Thank you. Dragon weak on heart. See, we at least get to the dragon. Alright. Ow. I'm dying. Game over. Don't get to see the dragon. Oh, jeez. Game's a little hard. Controls are... Ugh. Try again. Terrible shot to start with. We have. Okay. So we have this? Okay. Still already. Ow. Okay, so can't shoot the ones on top, huh? Okay. This time, it might be an idea. Bonus. The Paramecium is no match for us. Let's get to the dragon this time. Dragon weak on heart. Extra life. Ow. dragon. I want to get the dragon at least. See how good that is. Oh, here's a tail. There he is. Let's say the heart, so aim down, I guess. Got the grease fire. Stop. There we go. Didn't move much. Oh, game over. Did I die? Same time as her. That's handy. Well, we saw 2 stages. That's half the game. Alright. We'll move on to the next game. Half an hour game seems alright. Or 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Move on to the next. Next game. I know, we get a how they did it bit now. Capcom gets Arcade. Or How to Cram a Quart into a Pint Pot by Trenton Webb. How do programmers actually shoehorn the vast memory capacities of arcade machines into home computers? Arc Developments have been pondering the same problem these past 4 months while trying to convert Forgotten Worlds for the CPC. We went to Walsall to talk to them about the blueprint for a game. Byron Nilsson at the outset, US Gold gave us a coin op, and we decided that's all we wanted. The source code wouldn't be much use, and to take the graphics straight from the arcade would limit our artistic license. We wanted graphics that were individually tailored to suit each machine. Workers' playtime. We played the coin op a lot to get to know the levels and gameplay. Initially, we had a video of the first 3 worlds, and so it was decided to use these as our starting point. Then, towards the end of the project, we agreed that we would do a 4th and final level with Bios, the main war god, at the end of it. The arcade was only used for inspiration and artwork design purposes. Arc wanted to produce a game that exploited each machine's strengths to create an exceptional game for every format, not an average game for all, as is so often the case. We've tried to make the first 3 levels progressively harder, a feature of the arcade. It's got to be reasonably easy to start with so people can get into the game. You need increasing difficulty though, because with the improving weaponry, it would soon become boring if the danger level remained constant. Still, at the moment on the 2-player game, we'd like to toughen it up even more. In 3 months, we got the game going, and it was then a matter of tidying up and adding the finishing touches. At this stage, though, you find you've run out of memory and have to start trimming and crunching, just to cram the extras you want into the game. We see the finishing period as being not only the most time-consuming, but also as the most important if the end product is to live up to our expectations. Games, graphics, and gods. There's the game, there's the graphics, and the end-of-level god. The game is loaded at the beginning, the graphics are loaded for each level, and the code is run the end god is also loaded separately, because he's so substantial you can never fit it all in. So new sets of code are loaded for running the gods, because of the way they scroll on screen and the amount of animation. For all these considerations, it's not surprising that programming takes a long time. And now 5 months since the start of the project, all is finished. This deadline was only met by the ARC team regularly working 10 hours a day with weekends thrown in for good measure. Has all their hard work been worthwhile? There's only one way to find out. Graphic details. Paul Walker, graphics. First of all, I sat down in front of the arcade. From there, I'll do the Amiga graphics. I then use these as the basis for all the other machines to keep continuity between formats. Then I produce the graphics for the CPC on the Amiga in the correct format, 16 colors, double pixels, and the right palette. From there, transfer them down to the Amstrad via a PC. The Amstrad artiste, Byron Nilsson, Z80 specialist. The Amstrad has the advantage of much better graphics than the Spectrum. though most of the code is the same. Essentially, moving a lizard is moving a lizard on either machine. For its higher picture quality, the CPC pays the price of being slightly slower. I'm hoping to keep the game at exactly the same speed as the other formats. Speed is the soul of a shoot 'em up, and that is what I'm aiming for. Working with bit sprites helped. If I had to diagonally scroll the background, it would have been hell. All I have to do now is move my sprites at a diagonal instead of horizontal. The system I've developed for the Amstrad means I can now use diagonals and verticals, any way I choose. A lot of thought went into creating these routines just to get as close as possible to the coin-op. The backgrounds on the arcade are just tremendous. You want to play just to see the next set of graphics. But it was the end gods that really quite shocked me when I first saw the coin-op. This was what's special about our version. The end-of-level monsters are bigger than I've ever seen on any games. I mean, with a 4-screen high god, with each god being totally different, it's like a separate game at the end of every level. It's the ARC team. Left to right, Brian Nelson, Z80, Paul Walker, artist, Warren McCormack, PC, Steve Coupe, Amiga, and Tim Round, ST. Right. I think this is the last game. I think this is the last game of the issue. It's Tank Attack by CDS. $12.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, domestic with keys and kitchen table. The Battle of the Somme, September 1916, a new age for arts of war. The day of the tank has dawned. In 73 years, things have changed a bit. No more bathtubs with pop guns. Now they're hunks of metal with shells big enough to scare holes in the enemy. The great tank commanders are legends. Rommel, Patton, and Zhukov all combine stealth tactics and extreme violence and perfect balance. Are you the stuff of such myth, or just so much scrap metal? Tank Attack places you in the land of 4 countries who share common borders but are eternally at varying stages of war. And alliance sounds a bit like the EEC, the nation states of Armenia and Kazaldas are long-time buddies with a pathological hatred of neighbouring Sarapan and Calderon. True to form, the gutter press have been stirring it up something rotten, and jingoism is rife. The people want war, the papers demand it, and the politicians are rattling as many sabres as they can lay their grubby hands on. You are the supreme military commander, so it's time to earn your pay. Wind up those war wagons and wage world war. The lay of the land, towns, bases, and other trivial sites such as HQs are all marked out on the game board. The game is a physical game board. It's going to make playing it a bit difficult. As war looms, you can mass your forces on the borders to attack or around cities for defence. You have only a very limited amount of armour, 4 armoured cars and 8 tank units, so the initial deployment of your forces is critical. When all your bits are on the board, then it's wartime. This is where, at long last, the CPC puts a spanner in the works. The computer has the role of generating all the random factors of the game in the form of war news. The daily paper moves loud, and combat. The press report report how battles have gone, although they are economic with the truth at times. More importantly, they give the weather report, which holds vital hints about the advisability of launching an attack. Rain, it appears, stops not only play but also war. The amount of moves you can make are also dependent on the climatic conditions. And so when it's sunny, you can take the tank out for a pretty long spin. When wet, the battlefield becomes a muddy hell. The same parameters, as well as the element of luck, guide the combat with regards to visibility. Duels between tanks, it must be said, though, are not really edge-of-the-seat material. The realism gets in the way. Tanks are naturally able to destroy their foes easily, but as is often the case, when spotted it means you're sitting duck too. The likelihood of success in any duel is based around the range, 1 to 4 squares, the rating of the vehicle, like armoured car to main battle tank, and good fortune. It is possible to get lucky and trash a much more powerful opponent, but this is a high-risk strategy, which generally results with a shell landing in your lap. Tanks can be repaired when they have been hit, but you only have a limited amount of overhaul and rebuilding facilities at your disposal, so tactics again become important. If you have no rebuilding facilities available, it's time to ditch that vehicle altogether, so cautious use of both heavy tanks and servicing points becomes critical to the game. Having noticed your ease with which one of your shiny new humans gets destroyed, you'll begin to realise that the game is actually misnamed. Tank should really be known as Tanks Staying Out of Trouble Until They Really Have to Fight, and then only Begrudgingly Simulator. This is not to the game's disadvantage, as the strategy suits the board game aspect, and takes away the opportunity just to charge hell for leather to the enemy HQ, level it, and win the game. A few more prudent days could have been spent tidying up those grey areas that perpetually dog board games. The initial placing of tanks, for example, is a very vague process. The computer side, too, could use some extra embellishments, such as sound effects to underline the fact that it's not an aggrandized dice, but an integral part of the game's random structure. Still, devotees of strategy games will have a great time trying to wipe out friends and relatives with a game that not only forces you to interact with your CPC, but gives you a chance to express evil thoughts and deeds to people's faces. First aid target score. Win. Don't head for the hills. Shell them. Hi ho, hi ho. It's off the war we go. The verdict. Graphics 58%. Informative screens. Limited by the nature of the game. Sonics 0%. What Sonics? Grab factor 61%. If you like board games, great fun. If you hate board games, forget it. Staying power 69%. Indefinite, as each game is always different. These 2 interested players at least, but 4 are better. AA rating 67%. Good board game computer mix. Could use more computer involvement. Second opinion. Risk it ain't, but playable it is. As games go, it's no classic in either its board game or CPC guise, but as a hybrid it works well. Let's hope this is the start of a new wave of traditional computer game crossovers. Green screen, absolutely no problem. It's a board game. Guess you have to try it out, I suppose. Not that we'll probably get very far. Okay. Tank attack. It's a tank, alright. Rory. Okay. Rory did the loading screen. Redefine keys. Check for joystick. There you go. Yeah, actually, let's use joystick. Media neutral. At war, at war, at war, at war. Tank cool. Incorrect. Reselect. I don't know what you mean. Start or reselect? Start. Let's go. War news! Flash. New military leaders have mobilized every unit. The front zones are ready for war. Armenia moved tanks into strategic areas around border zones. And the capital city armament industries working to full capacity on weapons and heavy ammunition. Calderon's powerful armies and tanks are ready for battle. The tank commander waits for attack commands. Weather report. The weather is now influenced by the trough coming from Sarapan. General conditions, heavy fog and rain. Battle conditions, poor to very bad. Political news. All politicians and top officials move to command centres. Rain causes flash flooding. Some risk for typhoid fever. Oh no. Specify to continue. Current battle strength. 4 armoured car units. 8 total tank units. Select activity. Active icons are animated. Okay, we can move then. Armenia day order. Unit movement. 6. HQ command. Okay. Attacking HQ. Unit requests orders to destroy Sarpanese command headquarters. Confirm or retract order. Go for it. Tank! Boom. Sarpanese HQ destroyed. Troops are securing enemy depots. End message. All depots captured. Remove any Sarpanese repairing or rebuilding units from board. End message. Victory! That was quick. Total victory on Armenia. Ceasefire on all fronts. After continued attack on their headquarters, the armed forces of Sarapan were finally beaten in 1 day of armoured warfare. A war of attrition between equal forces. Was the victory a fluke? Will Sarapan accept defeat or risk rearmament in another war? That was way too quick. Show the other two. Start to reselect. New military leaders have mobilized every unit. The front zones are ready for war. Consultant relations have been completely stopped by diplomats expelled. Armament industries are working to full capacity on weapons, heavy ammunition. Calderon armies and tanks are ready for battle. The tank commanders wait for... Good for attack. Clear sky, sunshine. They're going to do the same thing and win, just get a move. Shoot the headquarters. Chaldean battle situation. Unit requests orders to destroy Chaldean command headquarters. Sure, go ahead. We win in 1 move, 1 day again. Chaldean battle situation. HQ destroyed. Troops are securing enemy depots. All depots captured. Remove any Chaldean repairing or... Yeah, this game seems a little easy. All to it war. Heavy fog and rain again. Oh, okay. Sarapan day order. Okay. Yes. Oh, we get to choose this time. Which one do we choose? Bureaucrats order the strike. Game seems a little easy. When you just straight attack HQ, it seems a little easy. It's the same thing again. I think this seems a little silly. Because you really need the board game part of it to work with it. That being said, do one thing and you win. It's a little stupid. Victory! Total victory for Sarapan. Ceasefire on all fronts. Yeah, okay, game's just a little silly. What are the other... What do the other icons do? We've got to move first. What does this do? What are we doing here? Firing in progress. Extreme range. Main battle tank commander. You gotta shoot that tank right over the end of the distance. Whee! Oh, they're shooting at each other. Poof! Exploded. Main battle tank destroyed. Place unit on rebuild depot. Move unit from board. Rebuild. Rebuild in use. Pair them both. See what we get from planes here. Oh, that's this next turn, is it? That's this next turn. Movement in progress. Move 7, I guess. It's just move 7 on the board or something. Armenian light tank sighted at medium range too. Ooh. Shoot each other again. Whee. Yep. Is there actually any randomness as to what gets hit? Doesn't seem right. Oh. Light tank just gets obliterated. Can't repair it. War news. Just some skirmishes reported by telegram. Very few guns fired. A new push expected? We do not know since today's bulletin was heavily censored as it arrived from the front where what happened. Battle losses. A unit from Armenia was destroyed today. Battle damage report. Today 1 unit was damaged on the field. Weather report. The war zone is now bordering to a weak low pressure from Sarapan. General conditions. Heavy fog and rain. Battle conditions. Poor to very bad. Political news. Sarapanese dictator and leaders visited troops at the front. Troops on day leave to boost the morale in civilian population. Okay, let's just end it then. Let's shoot the damn thing. Let's get the. Let's destroy it. You just can apparently. There we go, just like that. Total victory for Armenia. Ceasefire on all fronts. Is the victory a fluke? I don't know, I don't get it. Yeah. I think you really need the board game and probably instructions so you know how it's actually supposed to work. So yeah, we'll move on. Can't really do much with this. Okay. A different world. There's a whole range of serious CPM software out there that maybe just what you've always wanted, as Steve Patient reveals. CPM greens. The CPM ran on so many machines and so many businesses, plenty of professional quality programs were written for it. Several of the big name programs in the PC world started out as CPM programs. These include such names as DBase 2, SuperCalc, and WordStar. Budding and would-be programmers should note, incidentally, that if you want to have your program become famous, you need to spool badly and have no idea where to put the capital letter. Because these programs all use the OS to get at the hardware on the machine, and because the OS on all the machines was CPM, all these programs and many others would run on a variety of business computers with few, if any, modifications. The main result of this was to produce a lot of sales, enormous profits, and hence a great deal of competition. But why, if CPM is so good, I am sure it's selling it cheap? Well, the answer is that Wednesday duly arrived and the world moved on. In this case, to MS-DOS, or Domestos, or even Messi-DOS, as some irreverently called on the famous IBM Contemptibles. Digital Research, who wrote CPM and were originally called Intergalactic Digital Research, yes, really, were left with an OS that was passé. Amstrad, however, who weren't in the least bit interested in fashion, and if you tried calling them darling, you'd probably get a smack in the gob, promptly bought one unused operating system going cheap, millions of careless owners. Real men do for themselves. Most programs that run on the CPC ask the OS whenever they want to know which key was pressed or would like something to go to the printer. But it is possible for any program to do all the nitty-gritty things for itself. However, that would mean knowing how the hardware of the machine worked at the very low level. For example, yeah, okay. That's the beauty of CPM. Is CPM just for the irredeemable Luddites of the world, or does it really have something to offer the CPC enthusiast? The answer is yes. The main advantage CPM has is the enormous software base for it, vast numbers of languages, business programs, enthusiast programs, software to help radio amateurs, bounce signals off the moon even. There are comms programs galore, mathematical packages, and stuff whose purposes are so obscure that you need an evening to find out what they're all about. CPM is where you look for the limits of the CPC's usefulness, and you will be surprised at just how much the machine can be made to do. Yeah, I remember trying to run Microsoft COBOL on the CPC. That was fun and a lot of disk swapping. But it worked. It does work. Inside Out, in the second part of a series explaining just what is inside your CPC, Stuart McCall says, "Thanks for the memory." And all the more logic stuff. Now that we understand how computers manipulate numbers and make decisions, we're ready to tackle the other, slightly more complicated devices which form the basic building blocks of every computer. Surprisingly, there aren't very many such devices, and next month we'll discuss those which aid our understanding of computers, the most important ones. It's a prelude to system design. Ooh. Insider dealings, breaking into software, isn't something only pirates do. It's also a form of detective work, and the likes of Phil Howard, as he reveals in the second part of this fascinating series. Press keys cheat together on the start screen and then L to move level. Not so impossible after all. Yeah, so this is how you find cheats. Just crack open the side of the monitor and they just float out. That's exactly how it works. Serial Codemasters. The Oliver twins of Dizzy and Codemasters fame generally build cheats into their games to help them as they're debugging the code. These are accessed by passwords entered in pause mode that are unusual to say the least. Ghost Hunters has Complex, Dizzy has Trowbridge, where they live, and Race Against Time has Integral. And there's the rest of Race Against Time again. Stay tuned next month for another thrilling installment of Insider Dealing with when Phil Howard reveals more hackers' trade secrets. Absolute beginners. Now it really is the end for Andy Wilton. This is the final installment in Andy Wilton's Mammoth series. We hope you learned from it, and for those of you who just joined us, where have you been all this time? Back copies of some, but by no means all AAs, are still available from the mail order section at the back of each issue. Absolute Beginners began in issue 28. Doesn't time fly? Fancy that? Well, I never, etc. Absolute end. So this is the end of the series. We've covered all the basics of basic. over the past 10 months. You're no longer an absolute beginner. If this were elite, you should by now be rated at least dangerous. Happy programming. This time it really is the end for absolute beginners, sort of. Although this is the last part in the current series, Pat McDonald is working himself up into a high state of excitement, not a pretty sight, in anticipation of the new series for you now proficient programmers. Only thing is, we can't decide what to call it. Not absolute beginners isn't quite right, is it? Any ideas? We never do the work if we can get you to do it for us. A tenner if we use your idea. Oh, seems a stunning title to Headline Selection Department. Ooh. Choice cheats. Complete these games that have depleted you so far. Choice cheats let you play games much more easily by giving you options such as infinite lives and immunity. Helpline. More helpful people. Type-ins. Here, with more programs to turn you in green, is Pat McDonald. His background, a tank attack background. Why do they use that for a background? Here, as promised in the look, is Shabar Yusuf of Slough's excellent little program Symbolizer. It can be used to redesign the CPC character set into whatever you want. Admittedly, the instructions contained in the look are, shall we say, vague. Here comes the real story. Oh, not that long. If you don't know what these funny bits and brackets at the beginning of each line are for, take a look at typewriter in last month's type-ins. Hint, you're not supposed to type them in. Pandora, take the lid off your micro. Oh, look at that cheap-looking calculator watch with £4.95. Your order is received before July 31st, 1989. Wonderful. Interlace demo. They're using incredible shrinking sphere for this background. Just for a change, here's a program especially for green screen owners. Colour users can run it, but the results are far from perfect. Interlace doubles the on-screen resolution of your Amstrad in the y-axis. That is, rather than having 200 vertical pixels, it has 400. Kinda. This type-in is just a demo of the effect. Ardent programmers should be able to understand the method used. Interlace has not been readily available for the CPC, but simply the electron beam in the monitor, rather than scanning down the screen once every 50th of a screen to display a screen, goes down twice per scan. It's set to slightly different increments, so first it does one set of slices down the screen, then the alternate set. The program works best in green because mono monitors are more persistent than green ones. That is, it takes longer for the image to fade away. This greatly reduces flicker, and in a pure machine code program it would disappear entirely. I'm not sure it really works that way, but because twice as much screen area is being used, twice as much screen memory is needed to store it. So memory from 4000 is set aside to display half the screen, and the other half sitting at C000 as normal. The Amstrad continually flicks between the two halves while drawing the screen, and carries on when it's finished. The picture is steadier once it has finished drawing. In theory, you could use a similar method to display more colours than usual. Just think, true 16 colours in mode 1, or over 16 shades of green. Well done, John Valentine of Eccles. A really idea-provoking program for all those who are getting jaded with the CPC's display. Let your CPC imitate an Amiga. Does Amiga have interlace video modes? Okay. Discourse 3. More Greek with James Wilson, who proves that after all there's not very much new under the sun. Aristos something, for example, calculated the circumference of the Earth almost exactly, and that was 2,000 years ago. Ptolemy III named Eugetes 247 to 247 to 222 BC, continued the tradition of his grandfather in fostering the great Alexandrian library and encouraged the librarian Eratosthenes 276 to 194 BC, who is often considered to be the most learned man of antiquity. Okay. In next month's discourse, we learn about the hero of Alexandria, circa 62 AD, and his famous engine. What? You haven't bought the Micro Music Creator? Nope. Can all these people be wrong? Maybe. Cheat mode. More secrets of immortality with the man in black, Trenton Webb. Fast food. That little burger, Dizzy, gets a helping hand within his fast food frenzy from Grant Smith or Somerset in the form of infinite lives. So now the wee fella can charge around to his heart's content and pig out in true style. Say yes to excess. WEC Le Mans. Is WEC Le Mans still man and machine against the clock? No way, Jose. Not after ace mechanic Phil Howard of Mapley is played with your tappets. Ocean's racy little number gets a pasting with infinite time. Lap it up. Poke methods on tape. Okay. Black Box. This month's Multi-Face Massacre is the result of many hours of serious hacking by Andrew Reynolds up there in rather wonderful Glasgow. So dig out those games of yesteryear because it's party time. Oh Mummy, Manic Miner, Thrust, Speed King, and Monty on the Run. What they are and how to do them. Well, you need the Multi-Face too, obviously. SDI and Sky and BSB better watch their step. As Phil, it's that man again, Howard, from downtown Mapley, gives Activision's SDI satellite killer infinite lives. So the world is free at last to rest in peace. Afterburner. Look onto this, Phil Howard, oh what a surprise, of Mapley, gives the graduates of Activision's Afterburner Academy immortality. Show those MIGs how to really shake, rattle and roll. ISS. Do you find killer drones a real downer? Is the floor decayed under your sphere just once too often? Don't fret, Uncle Phil has discovered how to make your sphere immortal by giving you, altogether now, infinite lives, making Electric Dream's incredible shrinking sphere slightly more survivable. All you have to do now is find Colonel Ridley. Bug Killer. We've all done it, typed in a long listing, only to find it won't run. Now AA offers hints on finding those damned elusive bugs. And typewriter, you'll notice that we started putting listings in a column of characters alongside. They are not to be typed in though. They're part of the typewriter program we featured in last month's Type-ins, to which the curious reader is referred. So see also this month's forum for a brief alteration to the listing. The Pilgrim. Dire news from the land of Albereth. A report on Origin Systems. Times of Law. Well, here it is. Times of Law. Microprose. $9.95 cassette. $12.95 disc. Joystick or keys? Heralded for ages on the CPC, but only recently surfaced. Times of Law claims to combine arcade action with adventure challenge. The land of Albereth is in a tizzy following the disappearance of the High King, and in a scenario reminiscent of a dozen others, you must locate the various talismans needed to regenerate the spiritual values of your country and defeat the bad guys. The task is accomplished with the help of your joysticks, some icons, and a few multiple choice menus, and a scrolling graphics window that gives you an overhead view of your surroundings. If you're already wondering what on earth this has to do with adventuring, then join the club. However, the game is clearly marketed as a classic adventure featuring arcade thrills. So here goes with the Pilgrim's definitive report. The principle of the game rests on exploration and interaction with other characters. Although there is no text entry, the icons enable you to pick up, drop and use objects, as well as examine objects and communicate with others. The joystick moves you about and the landscape scrolls while your figure remains in the center of the screen. The land features buildings, castles, and natural features. When inside buildings, you can go up or downstairs and view the surrounding landscape. When outside buildings, the walls and roof become unique, and you cannot see what is happening inside. So frequent exploration is necessary and sometimes rewarding. The rules of exploration in Times of Law range from meeting other friendly characters to locating specific objects. When adjacent to another character, not always easy as they move about a lot, you can select the talk icon and start chit-chat. Or ask about any one of a number of other topics offered in the menu form. The list of topics depends on previous encounters, so having conversation about orcs may well add orcs to the list of for interaction with later characters. Well, this gives a good, well thought out game design and encourages perseverance and makes for quick, easy play. From the adventurer's point of view, however, there are serious drawbacks. First, the introductory scenes are full of misprints and misspellings, to the point of making nonsense of some of the sentences. This simply isn't on, lads. Ever heard of playtesting? There are also other points in the game where gibberish appears on the screen, but this doesn't really detract from the gameplay. Just from the sense of having got one's money's worth, if you're spending a considerable amount of your hard-earned on a new release, then you don't want gibberish, however infrequent. Second, the amount of area covered by the screen is too small to be truly satisfying. It's no coincidence that the most successful games that use overhead views, e.g. Ultima, also by Origin Systems, toggle between a large scale and small scale view. You can use the latter for wandering around in the country, and the former for exploring buildings and small locations. Times of Law has only small scale, and this tends to cramp the imagination somewhat. Mapping is essential, therefore. I know there will be some pilgrims, however, who find this a plus point. Thirdly, the examine command works only on objects. This is perhaps the worst point of the game because it denies you the chance of getting any further, more detailed information about your surroundings. The inevitable conclusion is that surroundings are not terribly interesting, and for the most part, in comparison with most text and graphic adventures, this is true. My final gripe is that the joystick button is used both to select icons and to take a swipe at an adjacent character. This means that in your haste to rescue Albereth, or is it Albereth? The program can't seem to make up its mind. You often start a friendly conversation with a character only to discover that to your horror that you're hacking him down in cold blood. This doesn't make you many friends and can sometimes obscure vital information, but making enemies of people who would otherwise provide you with essential clues. After being brutally savaged with a sharp dagger, they are, understandably, somewhat reluctant to engage in polite conversation. That's about it for gripes. The good news is that this game is will certainly appeal to those who inhabit the dark no man's land between the world of adventure and the world of the arcades. If you're more of a puzzles and location description man or woman, then leave it well alone if you fancy a spot of running around and take the risk, though I imagine that some of the shortcomings I've highlighted would dampen the enthusiasm of even the most ardent joystick waggler. Atmosphere 55%, interaction 60%, challenge 80%, overall 65%. Green screen. Whoever designed this game never intended to play it on a green screen. Many of the characters are almost entirely invisible. Except when they move and the objects they drop are even harder to detect. Playable, but for masochists only. Okay. Well, we've got a bit of time left, so since it's a special game, it's the only Amstrad game that Origin put out. We can always have a look at it. So we'll have a quick look. We're not going to spend too much time on it. But why not? At least be better than Tank Attack, I guess. to switch scenes. Forget again. Off we go. Start new game. Return to times of war. Aren't we already in times of war? I don't really want to make a habit of playing adventure games. Not an action test, but whatever. Have a look at this. Oh, door opens. Right, start new game. The kingdom of Albereth is the outpost of the Elden people, whose homeland lies across the sea. Born within this kingdom, chaos now stirs the land. The Seven War had been newly ended by the High King Valwyn, who drove back the invading barbarians, longing for rest. He departed to the homelands in order to renew his strength, leaving the land in the care of his steward, the trusted lord of the kingdom. The king never returned. The only child of a woodsman and his wife, you and your family have seen the troubles that the High King's absence has brought upon the weary land. The violent barbarians are once again pressing hard on the marches. As bands break through to Roman pillage, the steward tries to keep a semblance of order and harmony, but is unable to command the powers of the High King. The great lords, refusing to cooperate, keep to their own lands and castles, thinking mainly of their own security. Some of the lords who guard the marches are developing their own forces, and the use of assassins is becoming common amongst those who desire to settle their grievances. As disorder unfolds, the wizards, keepers of the old ways, are less in evidence and are now given to reclusive contemplation. Formerly the confidant of the High King, the Archmage, has not been seen for many years. He is thought to have secluded himself in a distant tower residing in another dimension. Now, a new breed of dark priests whose cult resides in the distant mountain vales, who are ascetic but practical devotees to their rituals, have begun steadily spreading their faith throughout the kingdom. Life is slowly changing in Albereth. The scattered farms are disappearing, and the populace has begun to seek refuge of walled cities and the protection of castles. Only the hardy still abide in isolation or in small hamlets. Food has become scarce, and craft and commerce are less common, with the trade routes lying now along the rivers and by the sea. There is still sea trade with the lands into the south and north, though, but dealings with the homelands have ended. Travel into the interior is uncertain and often dangerous. Your family refused to take refuge within the city walls, but has sent you to the surface of a wealthy but childless uncle in this capital, Erlan. The emerald city of the Elden Conquerors is the very heart of Albereth, through which travellers and their stories pass constantly. Recently, new rumours have begun to fly. Some say a mass attack by the barbarians is imminent, and that the wizards are finally lost. Others speak of strange messages received from the High King and his Archmage. The steward has summoned a council to gather the remaining powers of the kingdom, the foretelling stones, whose keeper is the warden of the northern marches, the tablet of truth, held by the southern marcher, Lord Hedrick, and the ring of the Archmage. However, These could serve to summon back the High King and his medallion of power, the spiritual keystone of the realm and the source of the High Kingship. Tension rises as the powers that their keepers are slow in arriving. Okay. Well-known adventurers are being summoned to undertake risky but well-paid missions. Your uncle has just died, and aided by his wealth, you are free to choose your own life's course. Eager to prove yourself, you decide to seek adventurers' employment and the exploits it might bring you to you. So you set out in search of a meeting place where adventurers might hope to be recruited. The moment has arrived in which you must choose the one you shall hear your fate. Here stands a knight of unfailing courage, a Valkyrie, both strong and beautiful, and a barbarian of matchless might. The joystick and button select the character who shall live this world in your name. Which one? Who do we pick? I'll go barbarian. Why not? Oh, the age of 13. Take a screenshot of that. The age of 13, your epic journey over the giant Koga erased forever any doubts of your heroic strength and stamina. And thus, the adventure begins. I think we have to switch disc here. Please turn disc over and press any key. Insert data disk and press fire. I don't have a data disk. What do you want me to do? Welcome to Times of Law. Yeah. Whack, whack, whack. Okay. Okay, space to pick up the pointer. There are no objects to examine. Okay, got steps down here. Who's this loser? Welcome to the Times of Law, the prior says. Greetings, stranger. A burden rests heavily upon my heart, and so I humbly request your aid. 2 weeks past, a caravan was sent from rider bearing the foretelling stones. The caravan was raided by brigands in the North Wood, and the stones were lost. Please seek out these brigands and regain the stones for the kingdom. Will you accept this task? Reply yes. You gesture to the prior and say yes. Okay. Thank you. I foresee a true greatness in thee. Took a sweet time to. The old man looks at you and says, I remember the days when we had a united kingdom. The old man says, did you ever hear of the Great Rebellion? No. You turn to the old man, saying no. The old man faces you and says, it was a magical artifact brought from our homelands when we settled here. It said that only a rightful ruler of our people can use it. Oh. Out of the way! Dude, out of the way. I want to go up the stairs. Okay, let's see if we can go north. That's probably a window. There are doors in this place. It's a fireplace. Oh, is this the top floor? Okay. So we go out from here then. Wait, there's a door here somewhere, right? Aha! So what, north wasn't it? Or something? Yeah, north. Off we go. Okay, we're still going north. You're hungry. Taking some rations from your pack, you quell your hunger. Ooh. There's a dude here. Dead. This isn't a gravestone. Oh, good. Projectiles. Don't really drop anything. At least not obviously. Can we enter this place? Ooh, item. Pick up dagger. You pick up the dagger. Off we go. Ooh. Food. Bag of gold. Ooh. Good, more of them. I don't think I need any more daggers. The bag of gold though, I'll take that. Attack. Blue potion. No idea what blue potion does. I don't remember this game that well. Oh no, they shoot each other. More food. Red scroll. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm sure they said north, right? Sure we're going to end up somewhere, right? Somewhere. A little wandering around. Oh, the path again. Oh, buildings. The Friar Cain looks at you and says, "Peace be with you." Very nearby to speak to you. He's very nearby to speak to you. Okay. Never mind then. See ya. Empty. You're holding blue potion root scroll. You also have 91 gold coins and 4 portions of food. Nothing here, just beds. You're hungry? Taking some rations from your pack. Quell your hunger. The old man offers no response. Oh. You know use then? Oh, he's throwing shit at me. Ah, get out of here. There's another 5 minutes, I think. We'll just be wandering around doing nothing for ages. cool, right? Oh, no, maybe not. Okay, this guy hates me. He's throwing shit at me too. Well, off we go. Is there no other path out of here other than when we came in? I can go through there. Oh. Okay, examine objects, right? Blue potion. Smooth at a touch, a wispy vapour stirs within. Scrolls covered with arcane runes. Smooth at a touch, a wispy vapour stirs within. It says it for all potions. Oh jeez, dude. This is where we came in, right? Oh, I killed him. He got a thing. So yeah, it is easy to kill people you're trying to talk to. By the way, everyone's probably a little angry at me now. Let's go into the wilderness and see what we can find. Let's go into nothingness. Oh, mountains. Oh. Ow. I don't know if anyone actually has bothered to map this. It must be. There's multiple platforms, so I assume it's map's more or less the same everywhere. Maybe. that? Ring. Ooh, found a ring. But yeah, it seems to be pretty easy to get lost. Ooh, water! Can't walk through water. Go around this little area of water. She's been more than 5 minutes. I think we probably had enough of this. We're not going to find nothing. Anyway, let's read the rest of the magazine. Let this guy kill us. He seems to take a bit. Speed it up a bit. Eclipse dead. Good. Right, back to magazine. Let's read the rest of the magazine. Level 9 Magnetic Scrolls launch new systems. Both Level 9 and Magnetic Scrolls are busy working on new adventure systems for release later this year, with Level 9's due out first of the summer. The label Adventure Systems is justified because both companies are attempting to woo larger markets by making greater emphasis on graphics. In Magnetic Scrolls' case, these will, it is rumored, be animated. It all sounds a bit fishy, but watch out for full details soon on these very pages. Level 9 is sticking more to the adventuring line and hoping to include RPG type features. However, it looks as if, unlike the Bard's Tale, you will only have one character to play around with. Again, there is a distinct smell of animated graphics. Watch this space. We're now for Magnetic Scrolls. Following Microprose's purchase of Telecomsoft and the Rainbird, Firebird, Silverbird labels, Magnetic Scrolls are looking for a new publisher. Although both Microprose and Scrolls are keen to do business together, neither of them has actually got down to the nitty-gritty of doing business. Meanwhile, Magnetic Scrolls are looking high and low for a new partner. Actually, says Anita Sinclair of MS, this could all be in the player's interest. Though some of our product has been hard to get hold of because of all the trouble, the change of publisher will inevitably give us a new lease of life. It means, she continued, that our new system, see above, will be even better designed and better distributed as a result. In the meantime, Magnetic Scrolls have written their first mini-adventure called Myth for 3 distribution by mail-order company Official Secrets. There's one drawback though. You only get it if you take out a subscription, the company, and you have a PCW. Unlike previous Magnetic Scrolls games, there will be no CPC version. Shame. Neither Sinclair looking for a new outlet for The Pawn, Jinxter, and other Magnetic Scrolls games. Wops, Disk Manager, and Copier. The AA Buyer's Guide. Get all the stuff you can buy again. Should have been through already. Afterfoot, Operation Horma's competition winner. Back in AA44, we presented you lucky people with a golden opportunity to win an EP Champion electronically powered radio-controlled airplane kit. It was all to celebrate again against Operation Hormuz. And we were pretty cheesed off that we weren't allowed to enter, we can tell you. And what a heap of entries we received. Poor old Trenton pulled the short straw and had to find space for the entries somewhere in his already overcrowded corner of the office. We cheered him up, though, when we allowed him to pick the winning entry. Congratulations, David Walford of Ambrosden, Bicester, in Oxfordshire. Not only did he get the answers right, as did 99.9% of the entrants, hard luck Bob Crossley, he was also the first out of the AA competition entries dustbin. So well done, David. We just hope you have a smart postman who realises the EP champion isn't going to fit through your letterbox. The AA Little Filler Comp number 1. An occasional section to fill up odd bits of the mag, caused by editorial incompetence. This month, £10 goes to the first correct answer to the question, how many times does the word Chico appear in this month's AA? Answers on a postcard back of an envelope to Filler Comp. Nicking my AA? Here, have a knuckle sandwich. Dear News Agent, please review me a copy of the August Amstrad Action, due out on Thursday, 13th of July. Hey, get yourself an Amstrad Action t-shirt. It's only £4 worth. We can already buy Stormlord. £3 off, even. Your back issues. The first 22 issues are all sold out already. Oh, I miss out. Renegade, the final chapter. When a guy loses his girl, he loses his mind. Now, in the final chapter, Renegade must summon all the strength and lightning reactions as he chases his girlfriend's captors through time itself, fight against Neolithic man, medieval knights, and the tormented undead from within the tombs of ancient Egypt. Your quest finally takes you beyond the present to a time you'll never forget. But remember, your girl wants to see you alive. Spectrum 899, Commodore 999, Amstrad 999, Atari ST 1999, Amiga 2499. Red Heat, oh boy, the heat is on, and the chase is in full cry as East and West join forces to hunt down a Soviet drugs dealer. The two detectives, one Russian and one American, have very different methods of capturing their prey, but together they face the worst of Chicago's underworld, street fights, the Cleanheads gang, gunfire, and a breathtaking bus chase. The hottest film tie-in to date. It's all action with stunning graphics. Feel the heat. Red Heat. Spectrum 899, Commodore 999, Amstrad 999, Atari ST 1999, Amiga 2499. Bosco's toughest detective, Chicago's craziest cop. There's only one thing worse than making them mad. Making them partners. Ocean. Well, that's the end of the magazine.